Well, good evening. I'm your host, Robert Wilson with Cowboy Wisdom Hypno Acuity and Cowboy Wisdom Podcast. Tonight, we're presenting 7 ways why I rose out of media manipulation. Say that 10 times fast. I awakened to understand that we're manipulated by the media, but we've been manipulated by the media all the way back to the beginning of time. Newspapers, gossip, and it's just come forward. And we all get caught up in the gossip, and then we listen to read the newspaper, or we listen to TV. And something I really opened up to, and one of the big ones is Wall Street and all them pundits. That's manipulation. They tell us to save for retirement, which is a good idea, but they always go further than they should, and they never allow us to move forward. And that's something I understand is it's all manipulation. If you put it in the media and you talk about money, you can get people to do anything you desire. But understanding, listening in to them about retirement, but however they want you to put your money in retirement, how do they want you to take your fun away? They really don't, because if you invest right, you can have fun. But here's the thing, how are they manipulating you? And something else I really want people to understand and esteem, all your manipulation is a subconscious mind frozen in time representation. And it shows you how to think and how to control your thinking and to stop you from moving forward. That's something I really understand because, see, your subconscious mind is in the body. And see, our body has a lot more to do with our life than we think. And that was a bad word there. Than you think, than you understand. And if you take the word think and use the word understand, you never get caught up in the subconscious mind frozen in time representations. And see, something I really understand is we've been taught to think and know from our mind. And all that is what somebody that is controlled by an outside source, all the education we've had. As I realized, me, you, and all people have been manipulated through the media, newspapers, town gossip, the elected officials, the mayor, whoever's in town telling people what to do and what to live inside. That's all a manipulation, has nothing to do. And for you to understand, it's your intuition, imagination, innovation, and your unique talents that will rise you out of all current situations. But we've been so manipulated through all the stuff in life. And, I didn't realize this. Well, I realized it, but I never admitted it until a while ago. Since the beginning of time to here and now, me and you have been unknowingly manipulated by socialized brainwashing of a third world mindset, business education, college education, because we understand who controls our life. And see, if they can control your thinking and knowing, they can control your life. And see, something else people never do is understand is that other people you can control people's thinking, you can control their life, and you can control the world the way you want to. And that's going on today. Because business education and indoctrinated education is followers follies, because you do what other people want. And then when let's just say when there's a natural disaster, the media listen to the TV broadcasters. They're always telling you what to do and acting like they know what's happening. And there's people out there that's been through so many of them, it's almost second nature. But they want to act like, oh, you got to watch out for this. And it's like when a lake effect snowstorm comes into Buffalo, New York, everybody's panicked except people in Buffalo. And see, the thing is, they want to make it bigger and get your mind to blow it up and have you have a great big, they want you to have a big carrying on and a big to do. So you stop thinking in a You stop listening, understanding, and questioning what's going on. So you start thinking and knowing from yesterday. And that's something I really want people to understand. When you listen, question, and understand and comprehend your life, you stop all the worry, war, torment inside yourself. And see, something I really awakened to for myself is the media wants us to always be in turmoil. And that is something the media wants us to be, is in turmoil. And my favorite one is, I've said this many times, is when I was talking to a friend, well, you can't believe a word the media says. And then the next thing they say is, I heard this on the news. I says, didn't you just say you don't listen and now you're telling me what they say? Which one is it? See, the news isn't news. It's actually uh, propaganda to get you to follow what somebody else wants you to know, just as the education system is. The wisest person in your life is you. You're listening, questioning, understanding, comprehending wisdom and revelations will rise you to everywhere. Everything you think you know takes you to yesterday. And see, that's something we've been trained to do, is hear what the media says. See, we're not really listening to the media. We're hearing the media. You can hear something and keep thinking. Listen shuts off thinking and knowing. So when you listen for the wisdom of your life, you shut off the thinking and knowing and open up a new way of life. And, since, and a lot of things that's happened today, and this is something that really awakened me, is we still follow our ancestor survival mode way of thinking, our parents, the socialized brainwashing, and uh, the Civil War, the 30s, and Johnson's better, great society. We still follow that. What is it? That's way too many years for me. But look how far the Civil War has been gone. We still are stuck in that because we still have the same mindset. The poverty consciousness of the 30s is still going on today. And in the Great Society, we don't talk about, because that's a whole dilemma. And then there's something that was sneakily done to us, and that was when we got off the gold standard. And see, we've been brainwashed to think everything is hunky dory, and it's all it is a horror story. And see, something I really opened up to is I communicated away my manipulation. I become the unmanipulator of my life. So I stopped following the manipulation of blaming outside sources, shaming myself because I didn't do what somebody else wanted me to do, stopped revenge thinking. I stopped doing all my inner manipulation that kept me just walking around with just in turmoil, just in trepid turmoil, and worry, wart, wimpathy, because I was more worried about the outside world and what if I was doing the right thing out there rather than listening to right here. When you listen to the core communicator within you, you soar of sovereign optimism. And see, something we was taught in school is revenge thinking. I had to get even with this person. I was bad about that. And about everything I talk about on here, I was really bad at it one time, but now I've opened up to be the unmanipulator of my manipulated selfishness, and being controlled by outside sources to understand all the good is in here. I can listen my way to the penthouse, going to think no and everything else to the outhouse. Because when we're manipulated, we stay stuck in manipulation of socialized and society's way of life. If you look at the world today, the media controls us and they have it propagandized so we stay inside their way of thinking and knowing. And that is something I really want people to understand. They want the school system, they told you to think and know. And that way you stay inside their way of thinking and doing. When you open up to be the unmanipulator, you magically ascend out of that and you rise to a better way of life. You listen to your way of life and see anything from the past. And this is something else that really I opened up to is self-help, personal growth, self-improvement, uh, and the psychology stuff will never let you out of the past because it's telling you to think of this and so you stay in the drama and trauma of yourself. See, there's no drama in the outside world. It's all in here. And it's up here. It's really the one that stresses you out and doubt. And how many of you have done that? Oh, I was a professional at it. Now I have the courage to listen and ask myself questions to rise out of it because whatever's occurring right here is occurring for me to expand. And I rise out of the manipulation of socialized ways of life. And I admit to rise out of anything in the past. I stopped being a servant to my past, servant to what other people wanted me to know, servant to what other people think I should do, to listen to my gladiator gumption to rise out of there. Now I understand and admit self-help, personal growth, self-improvement, psychology tries to fix the thinking and knowing, and they don't really get down to the body. It's like you take an addiction. You're doing that, but nobody deals with that inner dialogue. And it's one and it's whatever is going on in your thinking of mind, that inner dialogue is in cahoots with it, good, bad, or indifferent. I catch mine all the time. You have to really listen to what it's saying because it's a manipulator. It's a con artist. Your inner dialogue is the best con artist you'll ever come across in your life because it keeps you doing what you want. And that's something I really realized. Self-improvement, personal growth, self-help, they keep the past. They want you to heal the past. Well, I'm going to give you the secret to sovereign liberation. You heal out of the past right here, right now, through your daily life. And you pay attention to what is being said out there and the people and see how the same people and the same events are going on right now as going on yesterday. That's what happened to me in 2001 to 2000. I was doing all that self-help stuff, but my life was going nowhere because they want to deal with your thinking and never your listening and questioning and understanding to comprehend the wisdom within you and the world, listening for revelations to rise every day. That is where it really opens you up, is when you listen and you get out of the programming of self-help, personal growth, self-improvement, and psychology. And you get into the listening to your sovereign liberation, autonomous expansion, and your own wisdom. Then you open up to listen to that free-flowing energy of your imagination, innovation, inspiration. It's all your natural abilities, agilities, and audacity. When you listen for inspiration and color the images and question your life, the present moment, why is this occurring for me? You start rising of your own internal innovations. That's something I really want to open up to is I stopped reading punctuated books because that's a programming. Because that a punctuated book has people's viewpoints, opinions, beliefs, limitations, and what they think the world is and what they think you should do. My stuff is unpunctuated and wrote open-ended with never telling you what to do, but showing you a better way. Cowboy Wisdom Hypnoacuity, I never tell people what to do. I show people the way I expanded my life. I show them the way to question their present moment to rise. Never shift, always rise. I drove oil field truck and I missed a gear going up a hill and I went really rapidly backwards down that hill. So that has another thing. I always got it in gear and got up the hill, don't get me wrong, but for about a minute or two there, life was really exciting. I tell you what all happened, but all it is we got the truck stopped, got it in gear, and went up the hill. End of story. That's the thing. Take the stories out. Don't make them 25 minutes long. Use 10 or 12 words. It's like I missed a gear, slid backwards, put it in gear, drove up the hill. End of story. But boy, you know the difference between a fairy tale and a truck driver story. Fairy tale says, once upon a time. Truck driver story, you're not going to believe this. You're not going to believe this shit. And that's kind of the way it is. And we had some pretty good truck driver stories. And one thing about driving truck in the oil field, you had to be awakened and aware every day because everything was heavy and moving fast. And see, that's like life. Life doesn't have to move fast. When you listen and question, you get to slow life down, to silently listen, to optimize the wisdom to expand through it. See, this busy and productive stuff that you hear in all this business stuff, that's just busy bullshit to keep you dizzy and trying to be something and never enjoy life. And I love it when somebody tells me they're a workaholic. That's just that's falling prey to the manipulation of yourself. Busy and productive is a manipulation. When you open up to face and embrace your day, participate and facilitate your day, you relax, listen, and hearken the inspiration of your day to unleash all your nomadic talents to ballet you through life. Because everybody is uniquely talented more than they'll ever admit. But we've been so caught up in the media and all the school system and everybody, all these seminars. You got to go, you got to hustle. No, you got to relax, listen, and let the day present itself, then question it. And you stop the manipulation of stressing out and doubt. Stressing out is nothing more than overthinking about what you got to do and never enjoying what's going on. And you know, something else the media does, it spews a manipulation of the government, hidden controllers of the world, the Wall Street people, keeping people stuck inside what they've always done. And some people just keep them stuck in couch potato-itis and waiting for somebody to do it for them. When you can relax and rise above a lot of this manipulation, but the only ones that's manipulating you is you. I awakened to this. I got a class. I am manipulated, the manipulation of me. And that's what it's all about, is manipulating the manipulation of you. See, when you can sit back and listen and encompass and understand, you got the wisdom, insight, and clarity, intuition, imagination, and all the free-flowing energy to rise and entertain your brain of fame to feel awesome, majestic energy, you rise. And, you know, as you know, something I've really learned about the gurus and all these big workshops, you're paying for their dreams. You're paying for their dreams. And that is a manipulation, because when you understand you can listen to your daily life and expand and rise out of your current situation, you stop the bitchuation and belly aching about your life. And something else I really want people to know, when you're bitching and belly aching about your life, or bitching and belly aching about what's going on in society, you're really bitching and belly aching about your life, and that's what you're going to get is more bitching and belly aching. And trust me, I was the best bitcher and belly acher there was in life. You know, this is something I really do. And I used to think if I was complaining, I was being a tough guy. The only thing I was draining was people didn't want to hear me. I didn't want to, you know, bitching and belly aching, just doing that. But when you're bitching and belly aching what's wrong in the world, You're not trusting your own abilities and agilities. And that's something the media and the government and all the hierarchy, especially that the underlying controllers of the world, they want us bitching and belly aching because they know how to handle the bitchers and the belly achers. What they don't understand is how to handle peace. That's peace scares them more than anything, because war, the manipulation of war, that's big money. War is nothing more than big money. War is a business. Never think it's to liberate a country, because I'm 68 years old and we've been in war just about every day since I've been alive. And we've never, ever really risen out of anything. Iraq, we put Saddam Hussein in power. We took him out of power. It's just a game of, it's like being in a game in a in a lion's den, because you just keep rotating people, and sometimes the lion is going to do that. And see, what else happens is that thinking memory mind, it's binded and then frozen in time representations in the subconscious mind. And that's where you stay binded into. And so you're not really bitching and belly aching. You're actually in your comfort zone when you're bitching and belly aching about everything. And see, and when you're bitching and belly aching, that becomes your daily dialogue, bogging you down in what other people want you to stay inside their cloning ways. And that's what society is. It wants us to bitch and bellyache, but we stay the same. You know, it's like all the stuff out there protesting. We're all staying the same. And something else, this is my favorite right here. When your daily dialogue is bitching and belly aching about everything, you're bogging people down the way the media and the government want to, and they keep us talking about the sky is falling, the economy's collapsing, and the world is in some kind of funk all the time because people stay in the funk. Pick me, hell yes, I was in that funk. But when I unfunked my life, I slam dunked the delusions and opened up to my seashores of stunning splendor. I rose out of the sheeple-maker media that created a followerocracy and realized the indoctrinated education is controlled by the fraudulent fascists of the world. So I opened my sovereign savvy to understand this day occurs for me to rise and shine on my spirited hellraiser's intuition naturally expanding through life. You know, and here's the thing that I really opened up to get the bigger, this was used during the Hitler years. The bigger the lie, the more you tell it, the more people will believe it. And what do you see today? The bigger the lie. But I opened up to understand, if a lie is only printed and spoken often enough, it becomes quasi-truth. And if such a truth is repeated often enough, becomes an article of belief, a dogma, and men will die for it. By Franklin Chidra. And you know what? The information age weaves that in there, weaves the bigger the lie, the more they tell it, the more we believe it. So I awaken aware of the dare that the information age weaves deceiving delusions of secondhand information. What other people think I should know live as poopy-doo delusions of fascist follies expressed to me through the world. So as I open up to understand, I listen my way out of where I'm at, question the now to rise out of yesterday. When you listen and question, understand, comprehend, unleash the wisdom and the revelation, you rise out of yesterday. And I want to thank you. I'm Robert A. Wilson with Cowboy Wisdom Hypnoacuity and Cowboy Wisdom Podcast. But this is about liberation. Cowboy Wisdom Hypnoacuity is not about coaching. It's about liberation so you can listen internally, boldly, energized, rebellious, adventurous, trend-setting, innovative, omnific nous, which is wisdom. I want to thank you and good night.